This one's going to bring back pretty tough memories, so there will be a lot of air quotes, personal experiences, and discussion about the dark side of the internet memes. Just know that's what you're signing up for. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Hairline Vibe. Today I wanted to talk about something deeply personal and honestly a bit uncomfortable. Ever since I've been on the internet, which is over a decade now, I have been obsessed with memes, and outgrowing a toxic meme community was one of the best things that happened to me. When a chronically online person like me is saying that, you better believe it's life's wisdom. Memes are influential. They've become this intrinsic part of our online experience, of how we communicate. People have found their life partners in the comment sections, and based on common meme IQ or meme knowledge question. Insane how these silly little picture boxes can have so much impact directly correlating to our real life. And like everyone else, I got into memes because they were funny, relatable, and a great way to connect with people online, which young me desperately needed. And desperation is not graceful. It manifested in the form of seeking validation from the world, and internet became the easiest source for it. That's where the internet life intertwined with the real life. Even though I was barely posting anything, I was a very active, silent observer of negativity and toxic meme culture. It didn't take more than few minutes for me to create a separate account just so that I can engage with memes. Like I can drop a like on any meme without double thinking on it. From that account, I witnessed meme pages grow from nothing to practically a large following in like a year or 2 years of my involvement with these pages. I had conversations with these faceless accounts who were posting vulgar, downright offensive shit. Still faceless people, by the way. I knew their stories to a certain extent and their meme pages. I didn't know them. It didn't take long to get into group chats. I will call these group chats or this whole community a meme hole, as in a black hole. Why I'm calling these black holes is because you get sucked into this negativity. Out of 8.2 billion people in this whole world, these meme holes are clusters of people who are downright negative. The type, they make jokes on others that are sadistic in nature, unstrong people, targets individuals, promote stereotypes, are vulgar, and are offensive. Yeah, those are the part of meme holes. After so many years now that I have worked on myself, have improved my life, I find this hard to talk about because present me cannot believe that I was actually engaging with so much negativity. Like, present me would never even bother to engage with any of that. So back then, for me, these internet people became cool, and the people in real life around me weren't as much. Contributing factors to this, they were famous or they got famous in terms of numbers, likes, and followers. Because, like I said, I literally saw these accounts grow from nothing to so many followers. And that was like a direct correlation of being famous, especially in the initial days of the internet when this was just getting around. Like, we were just switching from Facebook to Instagram because Facebook just became our parent social media app. So, yeah, in the early days itself, I noticed this pattern, and back then wasn't equipped with so much knowledge about numbers and how it's just a vanity metric. Anyways, I still painted these people to be cool, and I wanted to be cool. Being cool, seeking to be cool, wanting to be around cool people was very much real back in 2017. Especially for me, I'm not sure about others, but I was running after being cool. I wanted that validation. I needed that validation back then. What is cool? What do cool kids do? Who defines these coolness? If you think about it, the answer is very subjective. If you ask the past me, it would have been so different. That girl was talking to so many negative people. It's cringy to me now to talk to negative people. Now, what used to be cringy back then has now turned to be a novel and very humane experiences. Like for someone, doing drugs and alcohol can be categorized as cool. For me today, it has grown to be pretty uncool. For me, those offensive memes were cool. Now they are downright ew. Like, I get physically repulsed if I read something negativity or toxic or trolling behaviors online. I'm like, what? Ew. So what started back then is sharing these silly little memes. I became into this meme connoisseur, whatever. You get it. Turn to dark memes, turn to dank memes. There was this whole progression. Difference of which Alvin the Destroyer from Reddit describes best. Dark memes make you question your life choices, while dank ones are just to make you question the sanity of the internet. It's like the fine line between genius and what the did I just watch. Even over time, I found myself getting sucked into the toxic side of the internet. I did it. I made it inside the toxic side of the internet, the toxic meme community. So, what's inside? I found that these cool admins were very uncool in real life. Like, groundbreaking, I know now. I was interacting with people online who were trolling, and I painted them as internet friends. Not being part of the problem by not calling them out on anything, just to be accepted. I was not taking up space. I did not voice any of my opinions. Just being this easygoing person. You can tell what kind of internet friendships these were. People often forget that there are real people on the internet. Dehumanizing others becomes so normal to me. For me, it showed up as referring and recognizing these people from accounts. I have been interacting with so many of these people that I couldn't keep track of their names and everything. I could remember their whole life story and everything. I might sometimes scroll up and see what the previous chat was, but you can tell how superficial this whole interactions has been. However, this whole reason that I'm not even able to remember a name of the person behind the account was actually dehumanizing people. Even though if I ever feel very uncomfortable with any of the memes, I would just suck it up, play pretend because I'm not me. And now I feel that's such a huge part of the problem. I am engaging with these people. I'm contributing to discrimination, casteism, racism, and whatnot by not pointing fingers or raising concerns to any of the problematic comments, which is enabling all these people to think that it's okay to do so. That's what internet does to you. When these internet groups are formed, they become these clusters, and you know that these clusters are of people from different parts of the world, and you find them joking about all these things, and there's no one to question that. So you start believing that that's what everyone else in the whole world thinks. You in your mind are thinking that you are interacting with everyone in the world, and somehow the majority of the people think like this. But that's so not true. There are so many people out there, there are so many communities out there that you don't even know exist because you are part of this negative community. So this community just becomes your worldview. Joking about certain things become very normalized within that community. If you see any of the comments on any of the Instagram reels or anything that is like negative or targeting or like trolling in nature, you will see that these people have like one or two people who will be agreeing with them, and those few people will be fighting with the rest of the world. Which, however, is not always the case, because positivity and people who don't really have time for such idiotic discussions don't engage in these things. So the negative voice becomes so much louder. This fake sense of community, like I belong, which looking back wasn't even real. A community whose existence is made out of the negative worldview, sadistic behavior, offensive content, vulgarity, and trolling. The line is very fine between these dank meme community. you can never predict when these can take a darker turn. Like, you don't know who is behind these screens and behind these faceless accounts, because generally haters and trollers are not doing that from their actual account. They're doing it from very separate account that doesn't have their identity or anything. They just are pretending to be cool on the internet and not being held accountable because their name and face is not on there. You don't know these people. Who are these people in the groups? You don't know what they are in real life. You can never tell. But if they are part of some terror groups, you can never tell. What if there is some political agenda going on? You can never tell. Believe me, no matter how smart you believe you are, when it comes to agendas, it's people who are masters of psychology and they are huge manipulators. You can never tell who is in these groups. They might be just here to brainwash teenagers who are soon to be adults. Adults run the society. And teenagers are the perfect targets to bring about a change or a manipulative agenda into practicality and reality. You never know who is doing what within these communities and interactive forums, especially meme communities. The world is so messed up. And looking back, I might have just been lucky that it never became this problematic or this serious for me personally in all the groups I was in. The people behind these groups and pages, they are just teens and young adults who are like very unfulfilled in life, who have no life, and they relied on the sick commentary on different forums on the internet to seem stud, to feel in control, and to laugh at inappropriate jokes to sound cool or unhinged. I was engaging with such low vibe, low quality entertainment through these people on the internet that I don't even know. Caught on Quora, I just found they find it way too well, like 8 years back. So many reasons like why people hate on the internet, like less danger of physical injury, obviously, venting their anger, especially on people who they don't know in personal life because they don't want to be impacting them. And then, yeah, that is so true. The nice people really don't want to be involved in these negativity and this faltu discussions. Like, they may be lurking, but they rarely speak. That is so true, Scott. The immature ones with little control of their emotions definitely tend to be more vocal. That is also so true. Some people just like to poke at people's raw spot and provoke them just to get a reaction out of them. And most of these people do not have a good life. They are not surrounded by nice people and they just take it out on others, knowingly and unknowingly. I'll add to that, because traumatic event can definitely take that look, and so many reasons. So yes, once you have interacted with just enough meme page admins who are posting all these negativity and toxicity online, you will realize a lot of these things are so true. And I gained a perspective directly from the source and mapping the common observations of their personality and real life. You'll start to see that pattern that their life pretty much sucks. And you wouldn't want that for yourself. Now imagine these are the people in power behind these meme pages with like hundreds and thousands followers, like a lot. Yet they are so unhappy in their own lives. You would never want that life for yourself. I started recognizing the real face of the meme hole. All of it was nuances of issues stemming from cycle of people pleasing, low self-esteem, feeling of inadequacy, external validation, reflect the feelings of self-loath, jealousy, and literally no life. In fact, personally speaking, I started recognizing how I can even fathom for these things to be cool. Because I had no life. My life was pretty much unchanged in pandemic. That says something, like attracts like. I even thought of these things to be cool or to fit in into these big pages, admins and everything, because I needed that validation for myself. Like, oh, I am friends with these big page people. I know who is behind these pages. No one else of these 100K followers know about them. I know. Like, how stupid that sounds now. I also doubt that how I'm attracted to these meme community was because the online presence was captivating. They exhibited a level of confidence that I lacked and was struggling to find within myself. Despite knowing that their confidence wasn't entirely real and that they might be cowards in real life, their authoritative and bold online personas were something I aspired to embody. So I reached a turning point in my life when I gained this awareness. This is important. This is when I started getting out of this sumping mindsets. I started gaining real confidence. I developed a sense of self-esteem. I was actively changing this negative thought patterns of my mind. I was exposing myself to new set of people, real people. So what started here started reflecting into my real life as well. And this time I was doing things, like cool things in real life. Like I was hiking, I was biking, I'm going on adventures, I'm taking all these risks. I'm getting into my first full-time job experiences, like a whole lot of lives, a lot of new friends, a lot of life. Online thing that was once such a huge part of my life became so insignificant. It just doesn't matter anymore. It became this out of sight, out of mind. I was too busy living my own life. I was too busy experiencing things. It wasn't always dandy and roses and happiness all the time. I did started actively building this healthy mindset, but yes, there were problems. Obviously, there were problems, but I was actually dealing with them in real life because I was so busy and caught up with things. Like I have exams, I have assignments, I have work going on. I have this adventure activities that bring me joy and happiness. I'm going for exercising. So there was a lot of things that I was doing physically and not online. And I was dealing with my problems in real life and not through these projecting behaviors that are reflected in rollers. Like what I was trying to fit into was these meme communities. I was being this easygoing girl who is not being offended, and now I have zero obligation to laugh on things that I don't find funny on any of the XYZ random groups online. Like, why would I laugh at something that I don't find funny? Today, if normie memes are funny to me, I'm enjoying it. That's that. There's no sense of shame or cringy in giggling to silly things, as it was the case when I was in these vicinity of these trollers community. Like, they used to find a lot of things cringy, and I find them cringy now. So that's that growth, I'll say. All in all, the awareness of these negative cycles, followed by mindset shift, followed by change in my attitude, turned into a changed life for me. I actively healed my own issues, which were being reflected back to me through these meme communities. Now, in retrospection, I can clearly sense where all these red flags were, what were the issues. Learn that being triggered isn't that. It's an indication of where the work needs to be done. And getting offended isn't always bad. In fact, we need it to evolve into a better society. Offense means that someone is being impacted negatively, and everyone is fine until they are the ones being affected negatively. So yes, offense isn't always bad. So I automatically got out of these toxic meme culture, distasteful memes, because I had no time or energy to even consider their pretty existence. Toxic memes, uncomfortable imagery, jokes on equality or rights of freedom movements like feminism, Black Lives Matters, pride, derogatory commentary, and edgy and unhinged behaviors. And so much more on these lines are straight up lame. No one in real life appreciates this level of bitterness with respect to anything. A Karen trend where they show the clips of these ladies acting out in public that became trending on the internet is a very good example of it, because those are the ladies acting very bitter and very anti-socially in a very real life situation. So really, no one appreciates that. No one is here to tolerate your bullshit in real world. These memes are made by people and engaged by people who have no life, who are not happy, who have nothing else, nothing better to do with their time than to go and pass hurtful comments just to feel good about themselves or get some attention, who are projecting and somehow still finding that fun. And I know this now because I have talked to these people in the meme hole one on one. It's no coincidence that they all had bad life, not many or any real friends, no confidence, kind of losers. Most of them don't have the balls to pull these things off in real life. Now, every emotion is amplified on the internet, and human brain's tendency to bias towards the negative side of things goes to show who is perceived as the loudest. The world is not that bad of a place as it seems on the internet, because the loudest people are the negative ones. And if it's not, if there is 95% of positive comments and 5% of negative comments, the negative comments are more likely to be more amplified in nature and more likely to hurt anyone who is other side of the screen, who is at the receiving end of it, because of the human brain's tendency. I can list so many reasons why. And you know what, I will. This is a long form YouTube video. Heck, I will. So, people display all these antisocial and being mean on the internet because of this inhibition effects. They don't have any inhibitions. Due to lack of eye contact, there is no physical proximity or any other non-verbal communication cues that shows who's more powerful on the internet. Feeling of anonymity and invisibility, general absence of an authority figure, not much of repercussions of bad behavior online. I will attach a great article on this down in the description if you'd like to read more on this. So while you're there, like and subscribe to the channel. So anyways, so the mindset shift is that I don't engage with this form of negativity anymore, or any form of negativity. Like if I can avoid it, I will avoid it. The best people I know personally as well, who have their life together, they don't engage with these things either. It's just uncool people trying to be cool, or sad people trying to get attention, or people who don't want to feel alone in their struggle. Which is okay, as long as you're doing it not in a hurtful manner or at the expense of others. All of these I don't need to be engaging with or putting my energies into. It doesn't concern me even if my life is crumbling. I'm equipped with better knowledge to deal with life's difficulties. And I understand that life happens. Not everything can be dandy and blissful all the time. Harsh times come, you have to deal with it and you have to learn from it. All while knowing that this too shall pass and that nothing is permanent. Do not play in extremes though. Like there is toxic positivity and there is a balanced approach. Toxic positivity is when you paint your life problems into a very positive light and pose them as not problems, when it's really just you repressing your emotions or feeling it. I recognize these things today, and I'm not going alone in this life problems anymore. I have a solid support system of friends and family who I can rely on always. I don't see how dwelling and engaging in low vibe behavior online can get you any fruitful result in any way, shape or form. Here's the thing, internet relatable memes of my big struggles have no reasonable role in my life. Neither does being bitter, spreading hate or hurtful humor. It's just going to keep me in the loop of negativity, which I do not have time for and I refuse to leak my energy into. And dealing with life's difficulties more so in real life and less on the screens has been so empowering and impact, and it has served to my personal growth. That's what a higher vibe looks like. Like a trend's like, and if anyone is looking to be bitter about anything, chances are their life are already bitter. It doesn't need to be your life. I recently saw this quote online that said that if you know how frequently people project, you will not take anything personally. And that makes so much sense. This whole video has been a commentary in an afterthought. Like, I'm still the person who indulges in memes, who's sharing memes on stories, spamming DMs of my friend, commenting on it and whatnot. However, my memes are now harmless, wholesome, or straight up silly. Sometimes even dark memes, because life can be a bitch and you have to humor it. But dark memes not at the cost of any person or an individual, but at the cost of a situation. An interesting observation, though, the days I share most memes on my stories or to my friends and everything are the days I've physically lived a little. Like when bored or I'm procrastinating, I have nothing much going on, nothing really active. So, like, when life isn't lifing, the memes do be meming. The internet has evolved significantly, especially in how communities and trends have shifted over time. After this era of cringeworthy behavior within the online communities, new trends have now begun to emerge. People have started embracing the mantra of I'm cringe, but I'm happy. This trend is reflected in growing realization that it is more miserable to find joy or happiness in ridiculing others than in simply being oneself, even if that means being perceived as cringe. In the comment sections, there has been a noticeable shift from unironic hate comments to more of self aware and ironic ones. Now, people often add brackets to their comments admitting jealousy or insecurity, which shows that there is a new level of self awareness. Even unsolicited advice, which was once prevalent, has also taken a new tone where it often starts with genuine suggestions but then quickly turn into a ridiculous joke or ironic comments. Despite these positive changes, there are still many problematic groups within the internet realm. I'm very much into scrolling and being on social media. However, because of all these mindset shifts, the algorithm is reflecting back a good content to me. And if somehow it still shows something uncomfortable, negative, or anything like that, I just mark it as not interested and move on. That is the art of scrolling. I am teaching algorithm what to show me. I am curating my online experience. I have that control. It's not like कि मेरे Instagram पे तो यही सब आता है. No, I'm telling Instagram कि मेरे Instagram पे ये सब आना चाहिए. You are deciding your scrolling experience. There's power in that. Use it. Use it wisely and constructively. Like, for example, just take a look at your home screen, and what you see there is a very good reflection of own world. And if your inner world is filled with hatred, fear, anxiety, etc., it's not a good thing to have. Gotta be careful with what you consume. I hope reading into mental patterns and behaviors like this help you introspect how you are showing up and engaging with memes. It's 2024, social media is not going anywhere, so you better start showing the algorithm who's the boss. You cannot change other people, so why focus on who's the problem when you can really change how you react to it? And don't shy away from introspecting, especially when you are projecting. Catch yourself red-handed and make it right. In the video, I did say how the world is a messed up place. It's just true, but I also like to mention that the world is mesmerizing and beautiful. People are so kind and joyful about life. I hope you find yourself in that part of the world. Step out and see for yourself. And as always, let me know in the comments what you think about all this. I'm open to all the discussion and constructive feedback. You know me now just enough. I am also a little bit of a keyboard warrior myself, but no arguments allowed here, so just okay discussion. Share this video with your friends who are spending time scrolling on Instagram all day or who are spamming your DMs with a lot of reels. I'm sure of all people, these chronically online people will find this discussion a little more intriguing. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stick around. We have a lot to talk about for getting to the high life vibes. Bye! What is the population? Connoisseur. Connoisseur.